This is Satan from the Corpsepaint Show in Dallas, Texas. And we're proud to have Clare Cunningham as our guest. And Clare, it's great to see you. You look wonderful.
Thank you. Well, I did a live stream a little earlier, so I'm a little more presentable, I guess.
Hey, so you live in America now?
I sure do. I'm stateside.
You're stateside now. Just as a reminder to some of our viewers, you were a guest on our show in 2017. You were just kicking off your solo career, and viewers can find that on our YouTube channel, Corpsepaint Show, and then just search Clare Cunningham, and Clare is C-L-A-R-E.
Hi.
And we talked to you, it was a snowy night and you were in Stockholm.
It was.
And you had just...
Probably May as well, because it always snowed. It snowed all the time there.
But now you live in Nashville, right?
I'm based here now. I kind of split my time between Massachusetts and Nashville, yes, but I'm here. Yeah, I've been in America for a little over 2 years. So, yeah, I love it.
We're glad to have you in America.
Yes, I know, because where are you? You're down
Dallas.
Yeah.
In Dallas.
That's awesome, yeah. How is it there? Like, what's the lockdown? Are you in lockdown or?
Yeah, we're in lockdown. Everyone is having to work from home. You know, it's limited what you can go outside for. Probably similar in Nashville, right?
Yeah, I mean, there is a so-called lockdown in place. Not everybody is adhering to it. But yeah, everywhere's pretty closed. There's nothing going on. So
well, okay,
crazy.
so you back years ago, you told me that you work out 6 days a week, and I know earlier today you told me you had time to get a walk in. So what are you able to go outside and get a walk in or a jog or a bike ride?
Oh yeah, like people are still like meeting up and partying. This is what the problem is here. So yeah, I mean, people, like, we're not in lockdown per se, you know. It's not like there are police around, but there's nobody, you know. People are still out and about doing non-essential things. So, you know, I think that's where the problem is lying right now here in the States, especially.
Hey, a lot of creative people in Nashville. You're probably surrounded by great musicians.
Oh my God, like the best of the best, the cream of the crop. And you know, there's just so many different styles of music here too.
Yeah.
Which is just so wonderful. Obviously, people associate Nashville country, and yeah, it's country predominantly, but you know, for the likes of myself, who's not, and a lot of LA have moved over here too. So yeah, it's just a town full of just great, motivated, creative people. So yeah. It's a wonderful place.
I remember you telling me you're like up all night and then sleep during the day, don't you?
Yes. So my bedtime is typically, the last 2 mornings has been 7 a.m., which has been way too late. Yeah, usually 6 a.m. If an early to bed for me would be like 5.
Yeah.
It's just, I've always been that way. But I don't actually, I sleep less now. So I sleep about 4.5, 5 hours a night. But I do, it's just like, I'm very creative at night time. I just, when everybody's energy has left and is a little quieter, I find I thrive more. So I use the daytime to do, or I did at least. I was writing in the day, working out, and then performing at night, and then, you know, catching up on like administration and, you know, because I think people forget that artists have to do a lot of, like, I have a website to update, social media to update. Every poster that you see, like, that takes at least 15 minutes of my time just to create it, put it together, post about it, write the the post. And I know it sounds trivial, but it's actually like, and if I have something every day, even in this quarantine, I'm like, oh my God.
Well, Claire, I'm gonna make a poster of you. I'm gonna steal a picture from your website, I think, and then we're gonna create a graphic for the show. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Whatever you need.
Now, Claire, is there a connection between exercise and creativity?
Yes.
I believe that.
For me personally, definitely. Creative people, in their very nature, do not have what you would call a normal or an average brain. So we are stimulated, I think neurologically at least, we use both sides of the brain too. And so it's why a lot of creative people, like people say, oh, they're a bit strange, or they're a bit, it's just due to the very nature of our brain works. And so for me, working out is my meditation. It's a release of everything personally. The endorphins I get from it is just insane. It makes me eat healthier. And it's an escape. A lot of people have different ways of escaping, and some musicians and creative people use drugs and alcohol or other forms of abusive things to the body, whereas I've always done the exercise. Now of course you can over exercise, and I've done that before, and I've burnt myself out, but I have found that balance where I can actually just completely go to a different place. The phone goes off. You cannot text me or call me when I work out. It's a zone that you can get into. And I think that's why you will see a lot of creative people too, who are as much into fitness as they are music. It's the perfect escape, I think.
Agreed. Hey, you're in Nashville. There was a tornado last month. I heard a rumor that you were that close to it.
Yeah, I was 2 blocks away. And so when I was on stage, and there were a few like TV screens up in the venue, and we were getting word that there was this like storm coming, and nothing new here, so nobody really paid much attention. And then we could hear the sirens go off. I thought it was, they get tested, and I've heard them, in the past, and nothing's ever come of it. And then the Amber Alert started on everybody's phones, and it literally said seat cover now. And we were like, what's going on? And then I felt this like gust of wind come in the door. So I got off the stage. Everybody was like, the power kept going on and off. And so people were kind of getting a bit like angst. And I said, nah, it's nothing to worry about. This happens or has happened before. And I remember taking a video and sending it to my family going, oh yeah, they said there's a tornado coming. I mean, and 2 blocks over, it was just ripping the entire city to like, it was just crazy. And then we learned more of it because we played for, I think, I don't know, another while after that. And I had even cycled into the show because it wasn't very far away. And I remember getting on my bike to go home, not realizing what had gone on. And I thought it was really eerie. And we had heard there was a tornado, but we had no idea of the destruction. And when I got home, I couldn't believe it.
Was your home okay as well?
Thankfully, yes. It didn't hit my home. It hit friends' homes though. So I had friends who lost their homes. Yeah, it was crazy. Like and actually, so the next day, I was due into the studio because I'm recording an EP right now, and it was the band and some really like really well-known players here were booked for the next day. And so I woke up to like 93 messages from everybody all over the world asking, was everything okay? But some of the band members, luckily all were fine, but they were coming from areas that had been hit. So they were like delayed, and it was just like, it was the weirdest, oddest time. Like, and I'm sure everybody has since seen the destruction. It's wild.
You were riding home on your bike right after our tornado hit 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a Wizard of Oz, isn't it?
Yeah, and I actually have a song that I'm going to be releasing called "No Place Like Home."
Well, see, there.
It's meant. It's just it's in the pipeline, right?
Well,
yeah. No, I did. I honestly. So I used to, or you know, whenever I would cycle or I was going to be on my bike, I would always check the weather, and I had checked the weather that evening, and there was no tornado warning at all. So it just literally came out of the blue, and I think that's why it was hard to comprehend for a lot of people, because it was so, like, even the Amber Alerts, they just came on the phone, it was like, get cover now. And like, I know the Basement East, the famous venue that got destroyed, their workers had less than 60 seconds to get down into the basement, and like, it was just crazy.
Yeah, we're glad you're okay.
Thank you.
And all your band members made it in to hopefully help you finish the EP.
Yes, so they did. So the next morning, it was a weird day. I think I needed it though, because I am an empath, and I don't know, unless you've ever experienced being part of a trauma that hits an area, it's a really weird feeling that comes over you. And one of, like, obviously I think everybody now knows what it feels like, because we're in the middle of a pandemic, and so it's just like, it was one of a nice distraction, I guess, because, you know, when you're in a studio, the doors are closed and you're all in there and you're in the zone. But you know, we were all literally in between recording, having to go out and answer the phones to everybody, because it had just hit on the news, and it was worldwide. Like, my brothers in Australia had heard about it. It was, but yeah, no, everybody thankfully was fine and is okay, and the city has, you know, come to a standstill, of course, but we were lucky to have those couple of weeks before the pandemic hit, to at least allow them to, you know, get somewhat started on the recovery.
Gotcha. Okay. And you mentioned earlier the variety of genres and influences in Nashville, and let's talk about Clare for a minute. You can belt out rock and roll. We know that you sung "Ride On," and you sing that traditional Irish, and you love country blues, and now you've got this new song, "Carry Me," which is EDM.
Yeah. I am the rainbow of all music styles. Yeah. I actually, this is it's you're gonna finally, I think, get to hear the actual authentic Clare Cunningham once this we're still deciding whether it's going to be an EP or whether I'm going to do the three, I can never say it, three tracks separately. Eddie and Justina over at RCA Studios, where I've been recording, they're amazing, by the way, listened to, I think it was 89 work tapes before they kind of decided what the sound was going to be, and to see what exactly is it. Because I have a lot of styles, yes, and I can do a lot of styles. But when you want to rebrand and market yourself, it's an idea to kind of hone in on what is I'm never going to just be stuck in one category. I know that, but
they want to be able to market it.
Yeah, and I've always known that, and I've known that to be a really important factor of being an artist. You don't want to be too confusing for people. But it's and I could tomorrow go down just being a Celtic artist and be very successful in that, and that is my soul. But I would miss my rock and my blues. So we've kind of found the perfect balance, I think, in the 3 songs of all those elements. The Celtic thing I'm probably going to always have on the side, and I'm going to keep releasing stuff. But it's kind of fun because with especially Celtic music and a singer, you can add a lot of flavors from different styles. So you get a lot of Celtic rock, Celtic EDM now, if that's even a thing. And even Dermot Kennedy, he's an Irish artist. He's pretty new on the scene, and he's mixing it with like hip hop kind of, stuff. And it's so cool. I mean, music has evolved a lot and is constantly changing. And I think, it's beautiful because you don't have to box yourself anymore as much.
Yeah, and audiences have evolved, I think, too, Claire. And so I want you to know my opinion that audiences will embrace and understand your blending of genres, even if it's in one song. Make it you, as long as it's pure and it's honest and it's you and it's raw. We may just full on accept that.
Yeah, thank you for addressing that, because I think that's the number one thing. I think people will follow you and support you if you're authentic to yourself and you don't succumb to the different kind of categories or genres that people expect you to be. Because I think a lot of artists always want to sound like somebody else, and that's never been my objective in music. I've always kind of done my own thing, I guess, and sometimes that will take you longer. Like, your path is going to take you longer, but somebody always has to be that authentic person, right? Like, I guess David Bowie or Prince or whoever, like, they never probably sat down and thought, I want to sound like such and such. They did their style and they created what is now their stamp and their brand, I guess. So I've always, like, don't get me wrong, I've had many offers and different things, but it would have cost me my my own kind of soul, and I'm not going to sell out to be somebody that I don't want to be. And that's as simple as that.
Right. And us as an audience, we want to see someone who is enjoying every moment of it on stage. And you know what we look for? We look for the little things, the little gleam in your eye. Mm-hmm. And we know you love what you're doing, and that makes me embrace your art.
Yes. And I think that goes to say with anything that a human does. Like, music is, of course, yes, but you have a choice in life, and you should always choose what feels good and what's good for you, and not for other people. Because I've always said, if you're doing something to make other people happy, yeah, great, they're happy, but you're miserable, and then people aren't going to get the goodness out of somebody who's not doing something that they're passionate about.
Right.
And so, and also the mistake that I think a lot of people think, if you're going into the music industry to make money, you're in the wrong industry. It should always, first and foremost, be your passion and because you want to. But I think that's why a lot of people do continue doing it. Like, when people say, why have you never given up? Or it's just not even an option. Like, you don't, it's right. It's your soul. So, for that, you know, I've always and will always love what I do, and I will always stay true to it. And you know, when people over the years used to say, never change who you are, don't let money or fame change you. And I was like, that could only happen if you're not a real person and you're doing it for the wrong reasons. I've never done music for that. I've always, music to me, I'm here to heal people. I'm going to heal this world with my music, I promise you. And I'm getting a lot of callings about this lately. Not to get all spiritual on you guys, but this is, and I know why I'm here and why I've managed to get to where I am, because I want to be able to share my my struggles and my joys with everybody, and hopefully they can jump on board and feel something too.
And nothing does that better than Irish music. Nothing does that better than probably country blues. You know, a sad song can tell a lot.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beauty of music, because depending on your mood or your scenario or your life or your situation, there's always going to be a lyric or some form of music that you can relate to. So that's why it's like so therapeutic for people. Along for aside the musicians, it's therapeutic for us to be able to speak about our lives. If you are a personal, like as I am, I'm an artist who sings real life material usually, but you know, it's if you've just met the love of your life and you're happy, love songs are gonna suddenly be something you can relate to. If you've just divorced, or you're in a bad situation right now, or you're quarantined with somebody you don't like, maybe, I don't know, like, you know, music is gonna hit you. Like, I find even now lyrics are hitting me way different. I'm like listening to things, especially like any songs that have had like the end of the world or these kind of concepts, or, you know, it's interesting how your brain will filter through a lyric differently depending on the situation.
Hey, and congratulations. So the International Singer-Songwriter Association nominated you for Entertainer of the Year, Female Vocalist of the Year, Female Songwriter of the Year, and more. And big congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't even have an email or anything. I just happened to see one of my other friends had posted that people could vote for her. And I was like, oh, that's so great. I'm so happy for her. And I went on, and then I was like, wait a minute. I'm in like 5 of these categories. So that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm very blessed. You know, they're a great organization. And I think because I'm only a new affiliate with them. So it's just an absolute honor, to be honest, that they've that the, you know, they put me in there. So, and people, oh my gosh, like everybody has been. I just posted it. I'm not a one. I don't really like the whole like, oh, vote for me kind of thing, because I, you know, just if you want to, you want to, and I love my supporters are amazing. So of course I'm just going to allow them the opportunity. Hey, you know, if you feel free, but people have really jumped on it and like have been really awesome about it. So thank you to everybody, by the way, for it.
Hey, let's talk about Carry Me, the new song. So just came out, and also should people go to your website, clarecunningham.music.com, to find more about it, to purchase it? What would you like fans to do?
Oh, are you talking about my latest single, Grey Lady, is it?
Yeah, Grey Lady and Carry Me, that one really stood out.
Yeah, so Carry Me, yeah, the Celtic EDM one. Yeah, anything you ever want to find out, or I always just direct people to my website, which is the easiest way because all my links are up there, and you can find out like all like I now run my own website. I had a website developer guy, but I've actually managed with a bit more time now to be able to, you know, maneuver around it. So all my news articles and everything, I'm keeping them quite up to date right now. But yes, you can get Carry Me alongside my latest Grey Lady as well, all along the platform. So whatever you listen to, I think you can basically find my music. Spotify, Deezer, I think is one, Pandora, iTunes, Apple Music, all the goodness.
And obviously, we can download directly from your website.
I think there's a link that says music, and then or listen, and then you can listen on any platform that you want to.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, because I don't have like physical copies of any. So in the world that we're living in right now, I used to have like a physical CD, and of course, when I was out in Sweden with Thunder Mother, you can still purchase like vinyls and CDs of that. I personally, there's no need for artists right now, especially if it's just a single, to go to that effort of printing out a CD, which I was a fan of. I grew up on them, so I personally love them. I think maybe if I do an EP, or I do the 3, see, I don't know what we're going to do. We're still in discussion about that. So, but if I do, I'll probably do a limited copy of them. But anybody who wants any of my music, you can always purchase or download or stream it on any platform. So yeah, my website, ClareCunninghammusic.com.
ClareCunninghammusic.com, and Clare is CLARE. I'd love to book you for a show in Dallas once the danger passes. Man, that would be great. I
would love that. My plan was to do a lot more traveling this year. I had everything cancelled. It was quite an upsetting start to everything, because there was some great events, and a lot of, we had a lot of great events set up for tornado relief, so then I chose for my first month of doing my home live streams to donate any money I got for the tornado fund. So I was blessed that I was able to do that. And speaking of donations, I think there's a week left, but my latest single, Grey Lady, is in connection with Pascon Palliative Care on Nantucket Island, and they're really doing well right now with the fundraising. So the song is literally written about Nantucket, where my sister and her husband and a lot of friends and family live. So if anybody wants to download it, it's on Amazon and iTunes, and we have donors that are going to match it to the dollar. So that's why I was like trying to push that one. Yeah,
absolutely. Say it again, Grey Lady, and this supports Nantucket Island. And you've got connections and family there, but it's an important cause. And
it is.
Help me understand the other one. You were I saw something about the NHS fundraiser. So now, look, I know that you're Irish and you're still connected to your country. And so do they run out of money sometimes, or just when it's a serious thing, they ask for donations from the public?
So the NHS, I just did it like a couple of hours ago, and that's a British, it's the National Healthcare System. And so I lived in the UK for 8 years, and I used the NHS. Thank you. They're amazing. Because unlike America, the NHS cover everybody. You don't have to have health insurance in the UK. You can if you want to, but it's a state-funded healthcare system. And of course, the UK are under like a lot of stress right now because there's a lot of cases of COVID. So I know that the NHS are struggling. Thankfully, they've had a lot of volunteer to help out. But I think as far as funding is going, I think they are struggling a little. So one of my great friends, Gary, he put it on today, just as, I think there's different fundraisers happening all over the UK for different healthcare systems, but that's the major healthcare system that runs through the UK. So as far as them running out of money, I haven't heard or been watching a lot. I've had to kind of step away from all news and things because I've never been one to watch it or read newspapers. I like to keep my body balanced in a positive setting, and watching the news does not do that for me. So of course over this last few weeks it's changed a bit. All I do know is that they've run out of money for small businesses and self-employed people, so that's kind of a bummer. But I think it's just been beautiful to see so many people come together at such a crazy time and just be a unit. And I mean, what an amazing time we are in right now. And I don't mean to make light of anything that's going on, because it's an awful time for some people and we will see repercussions of it. But I think if we could just get in the mindset and actually think of how much good is going to come of it, and focus on moving forward with different mindsets, I think this is. I think we're never going to have this ever again. So, well, let's hope not.
Right, and Claire, I agree with you. I think our planet needed to reset, and that people hopefully will have a new frame to consider what it means to live together after the danger passes. And I agree with you.
Yeah, it's going to teach people a lot more compassion and appreciation for everything. You know, I've seen a couple of posts with people saying, I thought I'd never say I'd miss my job. And I kind of get upset a bit, because I was like, I have never, ever, ever taken what I have for granted. Like, not even once. I legit love my life and I love what I do. And so when it gets ripped away from you, I'm just like, okay, I surrender. This is the new norm right now. But to say I'm going to be appreciative even more than I have been, is an understatement. And I think it's also, maybe it's because it's my field or creative people, but I think people are really going to have a newfound appreciation for, music and the arts. Those that are not in real jobs. Where are you all now? You're watching and wanting entertainment.
Yes.
And, it's what personally I think makes the world go round. It's healing for people, but it's also a form of socializing. And when people don't have that, they're like, oh, so I think, and people watching everybody, whether you're starting out in the music industry or you're top tier level, everybody's in the same boat. Nobody can tour, nobody can sing, nobody can, and it's crazy.
Yes, you're right. It's kind of an equalizer for all levels of talent in yeah, I see your point.
It's and I think that's why people can play victim, but we're all in this together. Everybody's in the same boat, and there's no one race or culture or country being subjected to it more. We are all in this together, and everybody's going to come out of it differently. There are always going to be two sides of how something like this will play out. But I do hope for the greater good that everybody takes something and brings a positive to, going forward after this.
Agreed.
But I think I truly believe it's going to change for the better, hopefully, anyway.
Yeah, I hope so too. Hey, I was at a festival a year and a half ago, and Casey Musgraves was performing, and I thought of Clare Cunningham. I thought, you should be up there. You are Casey Musgraves. You are the talent, the new talent in country blues and singer-songwriter, in my opinion.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. What festival was it?
It was in Marfa, Texas, and it's called Trans Pecos.
Wow.
And I guess it was 2 years ago. So it's way out in West Texas. So if you ever go to that, you have to drive through Dallas on the way from Nashville. Yeah. Okay, so just give me a heads up.
I will. Dallas has still been on the bucket list probably since we last spoke. because I've been to Austin, Houston I haven't either. So I do. It's definitely on my to-do list. And like I said, this year I really did. I had a lot of plans to go out and tour, but you know, I've relished this time. I've needed it mentally, and emotionally, and everything, and creatively. So I, going forward, will definitely be able to, I just feel it's like a reset.
Yep.
Because I'm the kind of person who's just going 90 mph, 7 days a week, to exhaustion. Like, I have been exhausted. I have been hospitalized. I have been through a lot emotionally, because I've pushed myself to that point. And then when you lose control, as the whole world has lost it, it's a nice little, like, no, just go and rest. I'm still very active and I'm doing a lot, but there's just not that same onus of having to get things done or go and see people, or, you know, there's just, the pressure has just alleviated a little bit, which is nice.
There you go. There you go. And hey, so a message to viewers: hey, you think your life has trouble? We're talking to Clare Cunningham, and her city was demolished by a tornado last month, and now she's in the pandemic, and she's the most positive person I know. And I'm gonna send you more positive vibes. I am, Clare. I am. And I just want to wrap this up by saying I really appreciate you, and I really do respect you and thank you for carving out some time to talk to me tonight.
Any time at all. And thank you always for the support, seriously, because, you know, and I'm truly, truly, truly blessed with, you know, shows like yourself and just fans across and the world. Like, I mean, I really do have the best unit, and I always hope that I do and deliver for you guys as much as I can. And yeah, and if I can be a ray of positivity for people, but you know, I work very hard on that. So it's not like I sit here and I'm, you know, there is a lot of work that goes into being this way. And one which I'm going to start sharing with the world very soon. I'm going to be, I think, through talking to a lot of people, maybe doing more podcasts, and because there's a whole other side to me other than my music, but I think they connect very, very well. So I think, you know, there is the exercise, there is the music, but there's also the mindset and the spiritual energy within. So if I can at all give anybody any advice, or at least give some healing, I will be learning some more. But yeah, then I'm happy to do that.
We appreciate you a lot, Clare Cunningham. Go to clarecunningham.music.com to find out more about this wonderful expat from Ireland who now is here.
Yay!
Yay.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. It's great to see you, and we'll talk soon, I hope.
Yes, absolutely. And stay safe out there as well.
Thank you, Clare. Bye now.
Bye.
I'm going to end recording.